Call the roll. Mr. Gilbert. Mr. Crispin, yes. Mrs. Hageman. Mr. Runkle. Mr. Elam.
Here.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Here.
Mrs. Reese.
Here.
Thank you. Any additions to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to communications, meetings, announcements. Hearing none, we'll move on to item 5, items for discussion, subcommittee reports. Starting off with A, reports with Peterson update, the K-5 project, and athletic field update. I will share the report that was given to us at today's core meeting. Masonry veneer installation is taking place in area 1 and 8 and 9. Those are the classroom, that is a classroom wing, kitchen, and gymnasium. Roof installation is complete to where the building is completely dried in. Window installation has begun and will continue to follow the masonry veneer installation. Metal stud framing work is going on in area 6 and 7. Those are another classroom wing and administrative offices. Drywall hanging has begun in areas 5 and 6, classroom wings. Overhead mechanical and electrical work along with in-wall rough-in work is going on throughout as needed. For site work, asphalt paving for the east parking lot will begin this week. The athletic field, concrete sidewalks and curbs are completed around the outside of the track, minus an access opening. D-zone concrete runways and trench drain work are ongoing. Contractors are doing their best to get the asphalt base course installed before the asphalt plants shut down for the winter. So that was the Peterson update. Mrs. Sebastian, anything to add for our updates?
Yes, they emphasized that everything would be under roof. They're on schedule to be fully enclosed by December 6th. They said everything was currently, the roof is done, correct?
Yes.
So, and I noticed when I went past tonight, there were windows in the front building where the office and media center were going to be. They will continue putting windows in, and then if they can't get all those done, they will put plywood in like they have. Mrs. Hageman sent the board a note. We will have some upcoming voted items to take care of the kitchen equipment and the interactive projectors. I think that's everything I had from my notes from today's meeting. Oh, they did start, and you mentioned the paving. They did start paving the east lot. They're hoping to just get the base coat done. They don't think they're going to be able to put the top coat on because of the temperatures. There's a temperature requirement. So that's all I had.
Great. Other
Appreciated
notes
the tour.
Whoops.
Appreciated the tour that I got a couple weeks ago with a bunch of the teachers, and how large it all seems on the inside when there's nothing in it but studs and just cinder block. But it's an impressive looking building so far.
Additional notes.
Hold on.
Whoops.
Well, I was just going to ask that question. Funny you brought that up. I know, Laura, you were trying to arrange a tour at least for the facilities committee. Can we still do that, or?
Mrs. Hageman was uncomfortable opening that up to the public.
So not the public, the facilities committee.
But anybody can show up to the facilities committee if it's advertised.
Okay.
Okay, additional notes. We had a snag with our flooring manufacturer, which is really a shame because the flooring that was picked out was really sharp. Had the what I've come to know is the true Bethel green, the Kelly green. The manufacturer's not making anymore, so we're back to square one. Met with Becky today and looking at some different samples. So I've asked her to put together 3 or 4 different options that we can take back to our kindergarten team, or not our kindergarten team, but our elementary team that helped with the original scheming, and do a new selection. Carpet's going to remain the same. It's really down to the kindergarten rooms, what's in the hallways, and then in the cafeteria.
I was in there when Mr. Bird told them there were moans and groans of despair. Yes.
Yeah.
They were very disappointed.
Yeah. Once they see their color choices, there'll probably be more moans and groans. But I think we can figure it out. I think it's just going to look a little bit different. Let's see here. We received 4 bids for the synthetic turf field on Friday. We've sent those off to our attorney to help us review. I will send, I may have already sent it this afternoon or earlier this evening. I put together kind of a summary of the first bids, the second bids, what the differences are, and kind of what we are looking at. So once we hear from Enos Britton, we'll have a recommendation for the board. Good news is we've looked at the original specs for the track. I don't know if you all remember the track was going to be gray, and nobody seems to remember that. Yeah. Well, going to black saves us a lot of money and allows us to cover our D zones, which is the area past the end zones to the curb of the track. So we can still we can go ahead and get those covered. Also, there was an error in measurement, so we're going to have lane 9, which was something that was talked about originally.
All right.
And it's all going to be a savings, believe it or not.
Wow.
So, yeah. And I had that number somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I think originally it was going to be, where's my calculator here? Just give you the amount. 249 was the original quote, and this switch and the products actually gone down. The price has gone down. It's going to be $171,000 as opposed to 249.
And didn't the original have a different, lower quality product, and we're actually getting a higher quality product?
You said 171.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I just want to be sure I heard this right. You said it was going back to 9 lanes as well?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Crispin said there was an error in measurement. There's some discrepancies depending on which track governing body you go with. So some of the lanes are recommended a slightly different size than others. But around here, what most schools have is the less wide lane, for lack of a better term. And so because of that, we're able to put the 9th lane in. Is that a good way to explain it?
The National High School Federation, which is what I never knew there were other specs out there, but are 42-inch lanes, and they had it spec'd out at 48-inch. Yeah, so that's corrected, and we get an extra lane.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
But that savings is good news.
Yeah.
Savings is good news, and we're going to get a great surface for our kids. And we also talked about, again, we've moved a couple months. It's been 2 months since the contingency funds were released for phase 1 of closing in the 5th grade wing And we've had some discussions like, because we haven't had to go into those yet, again, that I think the number's like 240,000
Yeah, the next
would be
phase,
needed to complete it.
which is the finishes for the 5th grade wing. Was 241 some thousand. I'm trying to find the document. Maybe I didn't bring it.
Yep, 241,057.
Yeah, it is on here, sorry. I have an email out to Tina to double check, but my understanding is since it's part of the building project and contingency, it's already allocated money. We don't necessarily have to vote on that. I mean, we've already stated the top project is
Right.
finishing that 5th grade wing, but I do have an email out to her just to double check that because if we have a special meeting and we need to vote on it, we can do that at the
Very good.
special meeting, because there's that side of me that just wanted to double check with her.
Okay.
And that money has already been released or is going to be released?
It's part of the building project and contingency money. Part of it comes from our personal contingency in the project. The construction manager released another $200,000 from their budget, and that still leaves us with ample contingency money for the rest of the project.
Okay. So the contingency money has been released and it can be used. Is that a way to put it? Or not yet?
Not yet, to finish the 5th grade wing. Today we had conversation about that.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying, you're saying there was contingency money. I thought first thing you said was funds were released from phase 1, contingency money.
Well, there were 3 different phases to this 5th grade wing. Remember back, I think when you were on the board even, Julie, we decided to pour the concrete and do the brick. That was, at least on this sheet, and I don't know if they bid it separate or not, I don't recall. That was $72,285. Now, it says slab underground. I guess that's just to pour the floor. Then the next phase, which was determined, I don't know, a few months ago, several months ago,
Yeah, I think it was September.
was $348,110. And then this phase is $233,525. So the grand total, excluding construction management fees and bond insurance, right now is $653,920 to finish the 5th grade wing. I guess that was the drum roll at the end, I don't know.
Whoops. Yeah. And then lastly, the other pieces of the stadium that are outside the scope of our work with Garmin Miller and Peterson. It's the walkway, culvert work that needs to be done for a walkway, and field house. And Mr. Bird is communicating with some local businesses that do that kind of work, and should have some numbers here within a couple weeks. Starting to piece that together. We finally got stamped drawings of the field house, so
And I think
we
they
can
were gonna
actually
submit
talk
those
numbers.
tomorrow, right, on the field house
Mhm.
for permitting and stuff tomorrow, so that's exciting news.
Okay, other comments or questions before we move on to hearing of the public? Mm-hmm.
Sorry, can I just go back to the tour? Could we maybe tour it 2 people at a time, so it wouldn't be a facilities committee meeting?
I can check with Tina if she's comfortable with that. I
Okay.
mean, really, the only people that can't go, we can't have 3 board members on the tour without calling a public meeting. So if she's okay with you and Caleb and Rick going, we could arrange a time if that's acceptable with her, but I'm not gonna speak for her. I don't know the insurance rules.
Yeah, I don't know what our insurance covers and doesn't, so.
Okay, just
Yep.
a question if you could ask.
Okay, thank you. Hearing of the public. Would anybody like to address the Facilities Committee? Mr. Cochran? Thank you, sir. Okay, our next meeting of the Facilities Committee will be December 12th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. here in Bethel Hall. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting.
I'll move.
Mr. Elam?
I'll second.
Mrs. Sebastian? Call the roll. Mr. Elam?
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian?
Yes.
Mrs. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Crispin? Yes. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.